All right, what's up, guys? Bailey here. UFC 322 just happened. I am not going to waste your guys' time. I'm going to recap all the fights and break them down. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. First off, we got Malcolm Womaker. Unfortunately, he lost, man. It was a really, really good fight. Malcolm fought a late notice fight against Ethan Ewing, and it was a really good scrap. I mean, it was even, and I thought Malcolm Womaker won, but he didn't. And to be honest, I wasn't really too upset about that. You know, I think that Malcolm Womaker will come back. It was like a 2-day late notice fight, like I said. It was a great fight for both. I hope that Ethan Ewing comes back. I hope that he actually gets signed to the UFC because I actually really like him a lot. He's a new, exciting featherweight, you know, and I just think that he had a really, really good showing against Malcolm Womaker. I don't really know, and I don't think I am going to count this towards my record being taken a hit here because, like I said, I didn't predict that this was going to happen. So, I mean, shit, you know what I mean? But at the same time, if Malcolm Womaker did win his fight, then I would have taken it at the end of the day. But I think that Malcolm Womaker, he will come back. You know, he will come back and he will have another great performance. I mean, he was hurting him in the first round. I mean, he was catching him with some really, really good shots and it was super competitive. And Malcolm Womaker has a great chin and he showed a lot of great attributes about him. You know, I just think that defensively, he needs to tighten up a little bit. You know, there were some things where he was getting exposed, you know, so some gaps and some holes, but that's okay. You know what I mean? It was his first real big test. He took a loss and it happens. But at the end of the day, it's all growing. You know what I mean? So I'm not really worried. As a matter of fact, I think that it's all gonna play and build Malcolm Womaker's character, if anything. Next, we got Aaron Blanchfield submitting Tracy Cortez. And I'm not going to lie, I really didn't anticipate a finish, but I did anticipate Aaron Blanchfield outclassing Tracy Cortez. And yeah, let's just get into it. Tracy Cortez, her biggest problem is her defense. And I was talking about this in my prediction video, how she leaves herself open. She has a good enough of a chin where she can kind of like take the shots, but at the end of the day, it's getting like overwhelming, right? And that was what was going on here, where she was just getting peppered kind of over and over and over again, getting outclassed. Then it was getting pressed on the cage, getting taken down, then just all the top pressure, and it was too much. And I think that Aaron Blanchfield, where she kind of prospers and does really, really good in these fights, is when she's on top, smashing people, you know what I mean, getting her elbows on there, passing the guard, looking for these submissions. And Tracy was getting desperate, right? And this was in the second round, and she was getting desperate, and she made a mistake, gave up her back. Blanchfield slid right on there and sucked in the rear naked choke. That was all she wrote. That was it, man. And I just think at the end of the day, Tracy Cortez, I don't want to say that she's getting fraud checked because that would be like calling her a fraud. But in a sense, like she kind of is. She lost to Rose Namajunas. Well, okay, we'll give you a mulligan there. You know, former champion, real high level. But then he lost Aaron Blanchfield, right? This is someone you fought. This is someone you beat, right? You guys have kind of ascended at the same time. You know, she put on kind of a clinic against her. This is just a bigger thing that Tracy Cortez needs to really take more time to be more well-rounded, right? And it's a great win for Aaron Blanchfield. And yeah, moving on. All right, next, man, we got Gregory Rodriguez versus Roman Kopylov. This was a good fight. Not too much to get into about it because, you know, there wasn't like any, especially with the next fights that we have coming up. You know, Kopylov, he caught Rodriguez with a good hook, you know, but then Rodriguez's volume, his durability, it just took over, right? It took over. Kopylov, his agility, his kicks, or kind of lack thereof a little bit. It wasn't really enough to kind of overtake Gregory Rodriguez, man. And I just think at the end of the day, it kind of highlighted just the fact that Rodriguez is just super fucking durable, man. He's a tank. And I think even earlier where he had his fight with like Jared Cannonier, I mean, yeah, he got finished, you know, still, right? I mean, he took so much punishment in that fight, right? And obviously Roman Kopylov is no Jared Cannonier. I mean, Jared Cannonier, he's got power, right? He's willing to engage in that way. Or I feel like Roman Kopylov was not. And I feel like that's kind of where he lost. I feel like that's kind of where he fell. It was just a great, great win for Gregory Rodriguez. All right, next, man, we got Bo Nickel. This was actually a really impressive win. He got a head kick KO. Now, even though he crushed a complete can, I didn't anticipate him being a can, okay? I actually thought Bo Nickel was going to lose just because I thought that, you know, he had more experience. Bo Nickel isn't real that great in jiu-jitsu, but it hardly ever went to the ground, and Bo Nickel actually showed some good levels to his striking. He was just peppering him with jabs and 1-2s, and he got a great head kick KO. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, he went down like a sack of potatoes, and in my eyes, he redeemed his TKO loss against Rainier DeRitter. You know, in my eyes, he made up for it in a big way by getting this head kick knockout. I mean, it was crazy. You know, listen, a lot of people hate on Bo Nickel. I'm not all that big of a fan of him. I actually really kind of, to be honest with you, don't know him too well. Like, if I met him, I would, you know, I'd probably be nice to him, you know, I mean, shit, because he hasn't done anything to, you know, man, it's just a lot of people, you know, don't like him because he's talked shit in the past. He said some things, but I thought that his performance tonight was great. I thought he took advantage of the little things. I thought he took advantage of like him having his hands low. And I think at the end of the day, it was a good recovery win. I even said in my prediction video that I probably should pick Bo Nickel, just plot armor, and that he's supposed to win this fight. So in a way, I kind of predicted it, but I'll take the L on this one because it wasn't my official prediction. So moving on. All right, man. Next, we got Benoit Saint Denis moving up from 13 to number 9. He KO'd Beneil Dariush out cold, and he made it a fight very, very quickly. So the fight opens out, two guys meet in the middle, and Beneil Dariush gives him a calf kick. Benoit Saint Denis, he goes down, he gets back up, and then they get into like a little bit of a clinch situation. Beneil Dariush is just taking uppercuts. You know, Benoit Saint Denis got a hand on him like this right here, and he's just uppercutting him over and over again, you know, taking little baby uppercuts. And then Benoit Saint Denis lands an overhand right in the pipe, right in that clinch situation. And yeah, he put him out, man. And that was all she wrote for Beneil Dariush. It was a great performance from Benoit Saint Denis. I think at the end of the day, it was awesome, you know, and I think that it proved me right in terms of the fact that Beneil Dariush, one, is chinny, and that I think he's done. And two, that Benoit Saint Denis is a finisher. He's a great finisher, and I think that there is really good things lined up for him if he keeps doing what he's doing. All right, man, next, we got Carlos Prates as he brutally puts out Leon Edwards. He knocked him out cold. This was in the second round. This was actually looking to be a good fight. Leon was doing pretty good. He held Carlos against the cage, right? I mean, they were filling each other out. It was a bit of a process. And Carlos is, he's talking shit. He's jawing at him, right? And he's saying, hey, man, why are you clinching? I want to engage. I want to fight. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I was not expecting Prates to finish Leon. I was this close to choosing Leon actually as the winner. But I don't know, man. For some reason, and for good reasons, I picked Prates. He laid his ass out with a straight left hand, fell back, and just gave him a follow-up, and that was all she wrote, man. I mean, this knockout was brutal. I think Carlos Prates, in my opinion, is probably the most exciting welterweight today. I mean, he's just getting finishes. He's talking shit. He's smoking cigs. I mean, what the fuck is he doing that's not entertaining at this point? I just feel like that. I mean, he KO'd Leon out cold, and I just feel like you could make an argument that right now he could get a title shot. I do think he should fight one more guy, like just to, you know, kind of separate himself from the other contenders to the number one contender, right? So at the end of the day, it was a great performance from Carlos Prates, man. I mean, he knocked Leon out cold. And as far as Leon goes, he might be done. You know, he might be done because when someone gets knocked out that bad, you got to take some time to really, really evaluate, really think. And yeah, so listen, tough loss for Leon, but it was a great, great win for Carlos Prates. And beat a former champion, by the way. So, hey, you know, there you go. All right, next. We got Michael Morales versus Sean Brady. I'm afraid that these next two are going to be very short, these next two segments, mostly because Michael Morales, he made quick and clean work out of Sean Brady. Went in there, and Sean Brady really didn't pose any threat to Michael Morales. This fight was a complete paradigm shift from the main event, right? In this case, you had the classic, striker versus grappler, and Michael Morales put him away in the first round. He made it look easy. He made it look simple. He literally went in there, marched forward, and just started hitting Sean Brady. And Sean Brady, man, his striking really needs to improve because he not only got finished by Belal Muhammad, someone who, listen, with all due respect, he has shown that he's damn near like incapable of finishing somebody, right? In all facets of the game. Grappling, striking, everything. Like he's literally a decision king. And he finished Sean Brady. And now Sean Brady got finished by Michael Morales, right? Someone who hits a lot harder, someone who has a lot more volume, a lot more power, right? A lot more aggression. And that's what happened. He got boxed up like an Amazon package. You know, there's really kind of nothing else to say. There's nothing too much to say about it. So moving on. Next up here, in another kind of short segment, Valentina Shevchenko dominated Zhang Wei Li in the co-main event. You know, just outclassed her, dominated her. She's bigger, stronger. I think the top pressure was what really got to her. And I think that it was just the grappling, the side control, the crucifix. I mean, it was just the classic Valentina Shevchenko approach. The fight was pretty boring, if you ask me. Not very surprising that it was boring. I think we all kind of expected that. Valentina Shevchenko is climbing up the GOAT ladder for sure. I think she's about 2-3 fights away from probably being the greatest female fighter of all time. I still think it's Nunes just because the quality of her competition is really, really good. I mean, Shevchenko's quality of competition is also good, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a little biased. But yeah, Valentina Shevchenko did really, really good in this fight. I'm going to be honest, I don't really think anybody can beat her. I don't think any woman in this game can beat her. Nothing really too much for me to say outside of that. So we're going to move on to Islam. Islam Makhachev fulfills his destiny. He fulfills his goal, his promise of becoming double champ. Now, I know technically he's not double champ because Ilia Topuria is the lightweight champ, but in essence he is, as Islam Makhachev dominates Jack Della Maddalena in very similar fashion to Valentina Shevchenko, and he's now the undisputed champ of the welterweight division. Listen, not too much to say about this fight either. It was pretty one-sided, you know. Islam went in there, he perfectly laid out his game plan, and he implemented it, right? He mixed in good striking, good calf kicks, along with just the grappling and the top pressure. And Jack Della Maddalena, he did good defensively, but once again, Dagestani wrestling, it prevails, right? It shows that this chain wrestling and this constant pressure, I'm not sure if jiu-jitsu can solve that. I'm not sure if Craig Jones jiu-jitsu is a full-blown counter, right, to whatever Habib and Islam are working on in Dagestan. And this was very, very interesting because, you know, Volk had massive amounts of success where JDM, he really didn't. You know what I mean? He really didn't. And I kind of feel like he faced like the light version of Islam when he fought Bilal. That was like his, I don't even know what you would fucking call it. Like before you get to the main boss, he got the side boss, right? Like a diet version of him. And yeah, that's what happened, man. I think Islam is definitely in the top 5 GOAT conversations because, well, he's double champ. He's done something that, you know, not a lot of people have managed to do. And on top of that, his resume, it just speaks for itself. His dominance, it speaks for itself. And he tied Anderson Silva's win record. So it's just a massive deal all around. It's a very monumental thing. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching my recap. And, man, this was probably card of the year. This was a banger card. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.